So then that's basically my responsibility to clean this, because I gotta say it's kind of mostly my mess. Hello there, welcome to the Kessel Runway show. Hello there, it's Inaria from the Kessel Runway, and today I have a new studio tour vlog. Now, the last time I showed you guys my filming studio, it looked a bit messy, like this and this. So I've been working on it for a few months. It took me a little longer than I hoped, but I'm really excited with the final results. So starting off with the door, like last time, showing off my little rebel bird that greets me every morning, and I'm very excited to show you the room. So let's get into it. So it looks a lot different from last time. As you can see, there is a floor. Now, you couldn't see the floor last time. It was covered by a lot of stuff. Now, of course, with the Kessel Runway, I had to go with the Millennium Falcon rug. And doesn't she look magnificent on the floor? This is a huge rug, and I absolutely love it. So, okay, I'll start with a few key areas of the room. You can kind of see there's a lot more space, and it's looking amazing. So over here, I'll let the light adjust. We can just see we have a little desk with our lights to take photos of collectibles. So I've got some things like the Darth Revan lightsaber, Bespin Leia from Hot Toys, the Queen Amidala Tonadol, Mandalorian mini bust, and the gorgeous Ahsoka statue from Gentle Giant. And that's where we like to do our collectible photography, underneath a very pretty Leia print that's being a bit blown out by the lights. So yeah, so that's my husband's little workstation where he takes photography of collectibles and small items for me, like jewelry. So if I move over here and let the lighting adjust, this is now one of my favorite areas in this room. It is my little collectible station with some of my favorite pieces commemorating the 3 leading ladies of the saga. And they are on top of my drawers that just fit in this alcove. We had drawers in another part of the house, and we ummed and ahed about whether they would fit, and they do. So I'll take you in a little closer. So we have Ray here first with some pieces from Sideshow Collectibles, Kotobukiya, Hot Toys, and Gentle Giant. So that's my little Ray collection there, some of my favorite pieces. Then we move on to Queen Amidala. I have the 2 dolls by Robert Tonner, a mini bust from Gentle Giant, and this amazing, gorgeous little porcelain trinket box by Limoges from France. She is a really special piece. I love her to bits. And then moving on to, of course, Leia. So I have pieces from the Bradford Exchange. We have this Royal Selangor pewter, Gentle Giant mini bust, a porcelain statue by Ladro, and of course another Sideshow Collectibles premium format. So they are my little collectibles station, so I can admire my favorite pieces. You can see in my previous vlog, this was a window behind, and I knew I wanted to protect my collectibles, so I've put some blackout curtains in this room, so it keeps it a little darker, but it means that my collectibles are safe, particularly the ones with fabric, like the Tonner dolls and the Sideshow premium formats. So now we'll move over to here, and in my previous vlog I talked about struggling with how to store and or display my handbags, and now I finally have a solution. So my daughter found these amazing sort of storage solutions for me, and I am super excited. So I can store some of my favorite handbags from all the different brands. Of course, I've got some of my favorite Loungefly pieces. I especially love these white and gold handbags. And of course the classic Ray mini backpack. I've got a variety of little handbags from different makers that hung up on the hooks really nicely. And then I've got some of my bigger bags down the bottom. And then of course, I loved this shelf so much. We have a second one. So of course, this one's got slightly a different theme going on. I've got the Ahsoka backpack from Loungefly. She is amazing. I've got these Hoth faux fur bags, my very special Leia bag, a very cute Ewok mini backpack, and that amazing iridescent backpack. And I finally have a space to put my beloved Harvey's totes. I've really wanted to get these ones on display. They are very special. I'm just so happy to finally have them on display and safe so that I don't have to have them tucked away. And the same goes for my Coach bag. This one was wrapped up in tissue paper and plastic bags in my last video, and now I finally get to have it on display on a nice shelf where I can see it every day alongside the very, very pretty State Princess Leia backpack. That's perfectly fits there. And then some of my favorite little bits and pieces of clutches. I've got the two Loungefly little wristlets that came out at Comic-Con a few years ago. I definitely wanted to get those ones out of their boxes and on display because they're some of my favorite little pieces that you don't see very often. And then of course, returning from my previous setup is my trusty little single stand hanger. So this is where I like to hang t-shirts and things like that have just arrived, and I want to decrease them or get them ready for steaming so I can take photographs and I can just sort of see what's new and what I need to work on. So at the moment I've got a couple of my classic bags hanging there because they didn't quite fit. The straps are a little wide to hang on my hangers. And I've got, who else got the custom tote bag when Levi's did their denim collection? I couldn't resist. I had to get the custom tote bag, so I have that one there hanging and I can see it when I walk in the room. It's so much fun. So on my little workstation, I've got a couple of pieces from Tea Turtle that I've got to write about, and a couple of my favorite classic black milk pieces. I want to do a little bit of a rundown of some of my favorite pieces from them. And I absolutely love this new hoodie from H&M. I'm so excited we finally have an H&M in New Zealand that stocks some of the Star Wars products, so I can finally write about product in my own city. So that's very exciting. So that's my little workstation, and I've got my Millennium Falcon rug that points straight at it. And after more months than I care to say, I finally hemmed my curtains. I have quite a sort of anxiety about hemming curtains, making sure that they're right length. So that was a big project for me, and I am super excited how they turned out. So that corner is finally done. And along with my favorite collectibles up here, I have a couple of little pieces that I've just stored in a few spots. Under here, we have the box from one of my Tonna dolls. And then over here, we have the trunk that comes with the other Tonna doll. This was a very, very special piece that my husband found for me many years ago, and unfortunately I hadn't had a space to store the trunk, so it had been just stored away out of sight, and so I really wanted to get it in this room alongside. It's almost a bag. It does have a handle. Of course I wouldn't use it, but it is a really special piece, and it's one of my rarer pieces. And then I have the Dressing a Galaxy book, which is just an amazing piece and super heavy, so I've got it stored here underneath the shelf where I can pull it out on the floor and flick through it whenever I want to. So that's my new little sort of display area of the room. If I pull all the way back, you can kind of see how it all looks. I am super excited by this. It's just so pretty. So after that, that brings me back to the drawers. Now, I had a super hard time trying to decide how I was going to utilize these. So it took me a while to go through all my clothes and accessories and stuff like that. So I'll give you a little bit of a tour about what's in each drawer. So my storage solution ended up being Ziploc bags. This drawer is for my earrings and rings. Gonna do a little bit more sorting in here, but I'm excited that I've finally got everything tidy. That was the main goal. Then this is for necklaces. You can see I've got the rock glove pieces all stacked up there prominently. Still got to go through and photograph all my rock glove pieces. This is for bracelets. So I've got a little bit more work in there to go. And then this one ended up being pins. I was kind of surprised. I've tried to resist collecting a lot of Star Wars pins, and then I put them all together and discovered I had a lot more than I thought I did. So yeah, so I've got my 4 small drawers here for jewelry, and then over this side in my small drawers, this is for Star Wars makeup. Isn't a lot in there, but I'm hoping to add a few more pieces. And I'm also hoping that more companies make Star Wars makeup. I've got the ColourPop Baby Yoda palette right there, and some Pat McGrath and CoverGirl, of course. And then underneath that, I have Star Wars perfumes. Now this one, I can't wait to finally unbox. This one's a new one. It's Millennium Falcon perfume. I had to have this. It's so cute. I love it. And then of course I've got some of my other favorites like the Princess Leia and the Amidala and Death Star perfume. I love the variety when it comes to some of the perfumes. So over here, this is a little bit of my catch-all drawer. I've got some lip balms and face masks and scrunchies and stuff like that. Loving these new items from Prophecy Girl. And in this one, this is sunglasses and hair bows, mostly. So I've got a new one from Galaxy's Edge. Got some Harvey's hair accessories, some of my old cheapy Star Wars sunglasses that I use a lot. So yeah, so I am super glad that most of my small accessories fit into these drawers. So that leaves us with the big ones. So this is my Star Wars wallet drawer. So almost all of my wallets are in here. I have a couple that I use more on the regular basis, and they are stored in my handbags. And I've got a couple in other places that didn't quite fit here, but for the most part this is my Star Wars wallet collection. So I really want to do some longer videos where I go through specific pieces of my collection, different topics. So you can see I've got some of my favorite coin purses like the Tauntaun, the Princess Leia, and I've got my little Ewok here in the corner. So yeah, I've got a couple of new ones in here that are still in their little safety dust bags. So I'm super excited to go through and photograph those properly. Now in this one's kind of a bit another of a catch-all. This one is for random bags that I have, like my State, Leia sort of clutch. I've got my Loungefly boxes from the Comic-Con ones. I've got my Her Universe Ewok bag. I've got a couple of other fabric ones and clutches and makeup bags and things like that. So that's a little bit of a, not a lot of stuff in that one, but it certainly helps. Now this is my space to put things that have recently arrived and things to do unboxing. So I've got Herschel supply that recently arrived. I've got a Spirit jersey that I'm very excited to photograph. So that's just a few of the things that will be featured on the website shortly. And then last on the left, this is my black milk drawer. This isn't all of my black milk. I've got some of my pieces like dresses tend to be hung up, but this is where I keep most of my leggings and tops and some of the more unusual items like these big overalls that wouldn't fit in my wardrobe. They're too long. So yeah, they're kept safely away in the drawer. So moving on to the right hand drawer. This one is my socks and underwear drawer. So these are for the socks and underwear that I don't use. These are ones that I have bought specifically as more collectibles that I have sourced from overseas, and I've also got a couple of swimwear here. So I've got like the Mustard brand bikini and the Ray underoos and some of the collectible socks and underwear that I've had bought over the years. These ones are the Return of the Jedi leg warmers that I keep for collectible reasons, not for actually wearing. Then the next drawer is another sort of catch-all bits and pieces drawer. I've got things like belts, beanies, hairbrushes. I've got some patches and stickers and things to do just to kind of keep like my Loungefly stickers and Loungefly patches and things like that. And I've got some more hairbrushes under there. So yeah, just needed a place to put all those random little things that were cluttering up my room massively. And same goes for this one. I've got these amazing tin purses that I really don't have anywhere to display. I've got the R2 one here, the black classic style one here, and the princess pink one here. So I've got some of my favorite mugs in here as well because I don't use them, and some of my display stands and things for when I want to take photos for articles, and Christmas hat, and my Han and Leia apron that I haven't opened yet. So yeah, I am particularly glad that I've got places to put all these random bits and pieces. Again, this is a little bit of a random drawer. I've got my Swarovski Princess Leia, the box for my Amidala Limoges trinket box, got a new Loungefly bag that I need to take out and photograph, and a few other sort of bits and pieces that I've got stored away in my Swarovski bag. So overall, it's a little bit random. I am super excited with the way that I ended up organizing all my jewelry. I'm keen to go through and do a little bit more tidying and sorting, but for the most part, they fit perfectly in my little alcove space here, and they fit most of what I really wanted to tidy up, which was the small things. So over here I've still got my wardrobe doors that are still the original color. They haven't been painted, but inside they are a lot more tidy and sorted. So underneath we have more Loungefly bags, mostly the dome bags. My older ones that I don't really use anymore, but I'm never going to get rid of them. So I've got ones like the Valentine's Day Droid one and the R2-D2 classic one, of course. And then this wardrobe is mostly for hoodies and dresses and jackets and things like that. So I've got fun ones like this Chewbacca fur one. I've got some of the classic Her Universe pieces, of course. My Padme collection in here. Got some of the Leia pieces, of course. This is one of my favorite black milk pieces, the kimono, and some dresses, of course, there. So I'm really liking how tidy and spacious this is. I've still got to swap out. I want to get rid of all these plastic coat hangers and have everything on the wooden ones, because I just like that a lot better, and it's better protection for the shoulders of a lot of garments. So I'm super excited how that's come together. And then on the other side, if I come over here, we can see that this one is also a lot better now. So this one is mostly t-shirts and tops. I've got some scarves and some random things. I've got a couple of one-piece swimsuits hung up, and then underneath this is my collection of Star Wars shoes. Not everything, but most of it. So I've got things like Irregular Choice down here. We've got Pozu, of course, Adidas, and some of the other ones like Incas and Sperry Vans, and some like slides by BioWorld in there, and some slippers and Havaianas. And so thankfully it mostly fits in there underneath all my t-shirts. So I'm again gonna go through. This one has more plastic hangers. I definitely need to swap those out for the wood ones. But it's nice to get everything sort of organized and sorted. And there's a couple of jackets in here that I need to hang in the other one. I've got to do a little bit of rearranging because the jackets in that, they didn't all fit. So I'm very excited that this is all clean and tidy. So I can finally find things when I want to photograph them. So I am super, super excited with how this room came together. So I've got workspace there to take photos of small things. I've got my favorite Women of the Saga collectibles there, and of course these fantastic drawers that fit, and they worked perfectly for what I wanted. And then I've got some of my favorite handbags, not all of them. Of course, I've got some of my favorites that I use day to day that I keep down by the front door to my house. Then I've got my little working space and my other display shelf there with the fabulous recent releases like the Ahsoka backpack. I'm so happy to have her with her little tabard hanging down the shelf. And this fabulous rug, I'm still so excited to have this one. I really wanted a Millennium Falcon rug for this room, being of course the Kessel Runway. Oh, and down here I've got my Adidas layers, the original release ones. And then over here I have some of my favorite flats. These ones are by Her Universe, the Imperial and Rebel flats. They didn't come with boxes when I bought them at Celebration, so they're just tucked under there so I can see them because they're some of my favorite shoes. So I hope you enjoyed this little room tour. It's got a lot of space now, and I know I had to move a fair amount of stuff out, but it was stuff that I really did need to tidy anyway. You may notice from the previous video that there isn't a huge pile of Funkos and action figures. We've moved those to a different part of the house so that we can work through photographing them for our websites without it clogging up my workspace here. So we have just a couple of figures under here. We can see we've got Revan there to do an unboxing. I'm very excited about that one. And you can see my little array of some of my favorite little, well not little, but some of my favorite collectibles lined up there to do some more photography on. So thank you so much for watching my little room tour. I am just so excited that this all came together, and it was more months than I want to admit, but it was worth it. It was a lot of work, and I didn't really know if it would all come together the way that I wanted to, the way that I envisioned it in my head, but I'm super excited. So now I have my very own sort of Star Wars walk-in wardrobe that I can display some of my favorite Star Wars collectibles. And I can't wait to get stuck into doing unboxings and reviews just like I used to, now that everything is finally done in this room. It was a labor of love, and I can't wait to get back into blogging and showing you the rest of my Star Wars fashion adventures. So thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. check out our other videos, and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.